value for the patent to several decimal points that made sense to him and promised a quick deal and a great return. Although his numbers were precise, he had done precious little to test their accuracy. Finally, once people are negotiating, as they had already begun to do since the doctor had made the first offer, getting to yes often feels like success, even if accepting the deal were not in all parties' best interest. For example, negotiators are more likely to choose an outcome that is worse for them if that outcome is labeled agreement than if it is labeled option A. All of those factors made it easy for our student to take the next obvious step, get the deal done and move on. Driven by these psychological factors, the student might have rushed to close a deal with the physician. But after considering our advice, he decided to conduct some further analysis. After consulting with us, the company decided not to pursue the doctor's offer. In less than a year, the company was using a new patent, not developed by the doctor, that was superior to the original one. The original patent had become essentially worthless. Systematically integrating psychological principles into economic calculations led to a superior outcome for both our student and his organization. He avoided wasting $3,500,000 and likely losing out on acquiring the new patent to boot. With our help, he took a more disciplined approach to calculating the economic value of the deal for both parties, while also acknowledging the psychological pressure to reach a deal, all of which ultimately led him to temper his initially bullish analysis. By integrating economic and psychological perspectives in this way, both our student and his company were able to get more of what they wanted. Not only did they avoid losing $3,500,000 on a soon-to-be obsolete patent, but it also allowed them to secure the rights to the new technology. The negotiation perspective we present in this book dates back to 1994. That summer, the dean of the Kellogg School challenged us and our fellow faculty members to come up with interdisciplinary business approaches that prepared managers for the real world. Managerial decisions, the dean observed, do not fall neatly into the discipline-based silos of accounting, finance, organizational behavior, or marketing. Rather, successful managers must integrate knowledge of multiple fields. The dean's challenge resonated with our own experience. Combining the insights from economics and psychology in our research had helped us understand the mistakes that organizational leaders often make and gave us insight into what they might do differently. In response, we developed a new course that incorporated systematic psychological responses with economic principles of decision-making. The dean's challenge and our course foreshadowed a trend of linking behavioral and economic insights in business education, a trend that took off over the next decade. Back in 1994, however, most of our colleagues thought our proposal to combine the psychology of organizations and economics into one course was crazy. Ironically, after hearing our proposal, the dean thought so as well. What possible benefit, he and many of our peers wondered, could come from abandoning the tenets of economic rationality, where reasonable, disciplined human beings made choices that maximized their utility, and try to incorporate the impulses that distract undisciplined individuals from doing what was best for them. Nevertheless, and indeed as psychological theories would predict, our colleagues and the dean's skepticism only reinforced our resolve to make our experiment work, and we forged ahead. As we developed a model for our integrated course, our combined backgrounds proved to be a major asset. They allowed us to develop a far more sophisticated model than each of us would have been able to create individually. Thomas's academic foundation is in classical economics and is based in the belief that people act rationally. From his point of view, people know exactly what they want in negotiations and other decision-making situations, and they engage in behaviors that help them achieve it. There is a direct connection between actions and outcomes as predicted by rational actors, Homo economicus, and everything else, psychology, irrationality, and the like fade to irrelevance and thus can, or even should, be ignored. In contrast, Margaret's training focused on factors that get in the way of negotiators' ability to translate their wants into outcomes. In her view of negotiation, the parties' desires and demands often change.